Hello and welcome back to a new Kerbal Space Program video. Today marks the third video on our channel and the 6th episode of our collaboration with benthebest5 on colonizing and building a base on Minmus. So, as you've hopefully seen in Ben's episode yesterday, or at least this little preview here, Ben has sent two small nice little rovers / buggies to the base on Minmus. And without further ado, we're jumping straight to our launch on the launch pad. So with those two new rovers / buggies, we have now the possibility to explore the region around the base itself, as well as gather some scientific data from a bit further away than just the base's immediate perimeter. So today's lifter actually only runs on a 3-meter core stage with a mammoth engine underneath and two 2-meter side boosters, and that's because our payload is A, not that heavy, and B, not that wide that we really need don't need a 5-meter fairing. This 3-meter fairing is wide enough for today's payload. Speaking of payload, what do you guys think is today's payload? Oh yeah, right, of course, the title and the thumbnail already gave it away, right? Okay, that's kind of a bummer, but still I really like asking those kinds of questions. Anyhow, here we have a nice booster separation. Perfect, right? I really like those separatrons, and I mention that like pretty much in every video, but it does certainly look nice and visually appealing. But yeah, so in this series, we have started it with setting up, of course, the communications network around Minmus, but after that, base construction itself started with the core module, which provides, obviously, resource extraction, resource utilization, or in other words, processing the mined ore into fuel, as well as power generation and research capabilities. Since the base or the core module has a laboratory where we can kind of work with scientific samples and gather scientific data. After that, we have sent to the base a large fuel depot to store the produced fuel so that incoming vessels don't have to wait until the fuel is produced, but can refill immediately and go their merry ways. After that, we kind of thought about the part that the workers and the Kerbals that will staff and operate the base kind of need some space to live in, not only as bunks and quarters, but as well some sort of recreational spaces. So that's why we sent over the hub module in our last video, in my last video last week. And with that, one can really think about the base is now more or less complete, and we're just awaiting some crew, right? And of course we got some buggies now, but they are not like immediately a part of the base itself. But still. So one can think now rather easily the base is ready for the crew to be staffed and to start commercial, just producing fuel and really getting into higher gear and doing what the base is supposed to do, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? But no, you're wrong actually. That small thing, actually today's mission, to be quite precise, is what really still is missing. And thanks to the power of video editing, we are already at Minmus. Great, right? So actually, like I said in the previous video /as, I'm not sure, I'm skipping. We went again to Minmus, regular transfer burn, did a small mid-flight correction in terms of inclination change to get into a nice polar overfly, went into a low polar orbit around Minmus, and then waited until the landing site will kind of passed underneath our orbital plane. And now here we are in our nice landing. Landing approach and landing burn in just a second. But this segment now, back to our payload, right? So this segment is one that will increases the safety rating of our base to a high enough standard to finally make it Kerbal rated. You know, like human rated spacecrafts, Kerbal rated base. So this module will provide, in other words, the crew with the means to escape the base, as well as Minmus itself, and return to Kerbin if need arises. So, as you've probably guessed and seen already a couple of sneak peeks through that underneath these two plates, we have 3 capsules, 3 escape pods, one can call them, that provide or have a crew capacity of 3 Kerbals each, so a total of 9. So these 3 capsules have a crew capacity of 3 Kerbals each, and thus provide enough means of escaping the base and Minmus for 9 Kerbals, and that marks more or less the maximum capacity of the base. Further, those 3 capsules or escape pods have enough Delta V, like I said, to escape a Minmus and return to Kerbin, and to make it to be precise, they have 900-ish meters per second of Delta V, and that really is more than enough. So, and these 3 pods that are now still not quite visible because of those 2 nice plates there, well, the reason for those plates is not only that they are really cool looking, and you'll see in just a minute, or a tiny bit over a minute, why or what I mean exactly, but they are also providing shielding to those pods. So in case of orbital debris, micrometeorites, or just the entire base blowing up out of I don't know why, the Kerbals can close those 2 doors up and protect the pods, the escape pods themselves, so that even if something really goes bad, the escape pods will stay safe, and the Kerbals in them will either be able to launch afterwards or just sit it out, like for example, like a micrometeorite raining down or something. They can just sit out in the pods and wait. If something is struck, then that's not that big of a deal, since, well, the Kerbals will be safe. And if nothing happened, well, then they can just return and resume operations as normal. So, now, we don't have in today's segment, in comparison to last week's segment, we don't have any wheels to get the 2 crafts or the new segment close enough to the base to dock, because, well, we realized last time that the wheels were really buggy and Kraken attracting, so they weren't really working well. So this time we went without any wheels and just jumped up and down with the engines until we got close enough for a beautiful little docking and kissing the 2 docking ports, and then the magnetic force just bound them together. And with that, we have now a perfect attachment to the base. Now opening up our beautiful safety blast doors and revealing our new module, aka the 3 escape pods. And on this note, we've completed today's mission as well. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Make sure to drop a like if you liked the video, as well as subscribe to see the next episode and other future content on this channel. And don't forget to go over to Ben's channel to check out his videos if you haven't seen them already. So, thank you guys very much for watching, and until next time, Spaceship signing out. Enjoy the rest of your day, my friends.
The apocalypse.